Let's go. Make sure we're live. The music does in fact work on the YouTube channel.
So,
What the actual fuck is a Bentley Bentayga?
All right, the music does in fact work. We're going to be live here.
okay.
Good. I don't know what
I
that
live
means.
my life live.
I'm just waiting
So,
on the...
What
Hey,
the
there we
actual
go.
fuck is a Bentley Bentayga?
All right, the music does in fact work. We're going to be live. Okay, so
okay.
we're going a little off the cuff tonight. Welcome to Three Mo Bros, as usual with my boys, Caboose and Olangutan. I almost said
Hey, what's good, guys?
I almost said your real names there for a second.
Oh, God.
I almost put those out into the ether. So
they can never know. Someone will find us.
Right?
I don't need that kind of publicity.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid they stumble onto our Twitch page.
Oh, it's true. So anyway, so we're gonna be I'm sharing this to YouTube or to Twitter right now. Since I'm the only one of us that cares to do social media. Yuck, huck, yuck.
Oh yeah, there's Facebook, man. That's it.
Okay. So here's what we got
My
going
entire
on.
social media presence is to make memes.
Right, there's plenty of that on Twitter. So
on what?
Anyway,
Twatter.
So the biggest acquisition in video game history happened earlier this week. I got to work on Tuesday. For those of you that don't know, work on the ambulance, and I'm checking out the truck because it's the first thing we do when we get there. And I jump in the front. I jump in the front seat to check the mileage on the ambulance, and I pull out my phone to submit it. And the big headline in my Twitter notification pops up, and it was an insider saying that Xbox close to a deal with Activision for a fat $70 billion. And I said, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And then not but a second later.
I'll be right back, guys.
All right, buddy.
All right, bud, we'll be here.
Not but a second later, the official Xbox account posts their Xbox Wire article announcing not only that Xbox has entered into a deal to acquire Activision, but that Phil Spencer himself has attained yet another promotion to CEO of Microsoft Gaming, and to alert us that Xbox has now more than 25 million subscribers into Xbox Game Pass. All of which, in my opinion, very good news.
That is pretty crazy about the Game Pass.
Yeah, the last numbers we got were 18 million, and we thought that was good. We were all hoping that they would be over 30 million by the end of 2021. But we found out at the end of their fiscal year that they missed their goal, and Xbox Game Pass only grew by 47% instead of like the 76% that they wanted. So,
wow.
Yeah, only 47%. There's only 50% more subscribers year over year. Before.
Get good, Phil Spencer. Get good.
Right. Bananas.
That's insane.
So I hop on, and the first thing I do, of course, when I find out hot gaming news, is I message these two, and Boost, I want you to reminisce on that moment and talk to me about what was the first thoughts going through your mind.
I think it's going to be a disaster. I'm not a fan. I don't think any of it is going to be worth my time and effort. Well, anybody's time and effort, because one, God's just, I don't know. The last few games have just been trash.
So,
And
so the whole acquisition for you is about COD.
not necessarily COD, but after seeing what Activision has done with the last few mergers of theirs, I'm not a fan of how they've treated games and companies and developers and just the titles that they've acquired and just series and the things that they've done to those. I don't see it being a good transition for us.
So,
I mean, there's going to be some ups, right? Like Sony has to bow down. Like there's no getting around it. But overall, I think Xbox doing this should have just kept their dick in their hand and played this one out differently.
So it's my understanding, and it's like some of the things that have come out after the fact kind of insinuate that this fell into Xbox's lap. Like, I guess PlayStation.
It wasn't intended.
No, I mean, Activision's stock price has been plummeting because of all of the sexual harassment allegations going on over there. How big of an asshole Bobby K is. Like, it's really just like the slew of problems on top of their game quality plummeting.
Yeah.
So, trying to figure out which Twitter account this PlayStation quote came from, because I want to read it exactly. Because I thought it was pretty good of PlayStation to say this. It's like one of the most hypocritical things I've ever read on the internet.
That doesn't take much.
Oh
no.
So anyway, obviously one of the first big things that came from it, just like the Bethesda acquisition, was talks of exclusivity, which we knew was going to be a hot button topic. It was a hot button topic for the entire 6 months from September to February or whatever it was that Xbox was waiting for regulatory commissions to put the green light on the Bethesda acquisition. And now we have to wait 18 months for the deal to be done with Activision. They don't expect it to be done until June of 2023. So
yeah, no, it's going to be a while out. And like you were saying, like a lot can change in that, and things happen. But ultimately, like the biggest developers that we're getting out of this are going to be COD developers, where I don't think that those studios have the creativity or the drive to put out anything decent. Granted, they have been locked up in a cage behind Activision, but I don't see them putting effort into the next title drop under Microsoft.
So here's my thinking. I think in June of 2023, when the deal closes, they're going to go through all the HR process of integrating all these employees so that they're now paid by Xbox and not Activision or Microsoft Gaming as it is now.
Right.
And then Phil and whoever, whether it's Sarah Bond or Matt Booty or whatever subordinates of his that he wants to take with him to all of these different studios, and they're going to sit him down and they're going to ask him, hey, what do you want to make? Like, nobody's ever asked you that. Toys for Bob put out that last Crash Bandicoot game, and then they put him as a support studio on Call of Duty. Like, something doesn't match up there. Either you want to make Call of Duty, or you want to make animated platformers.
Right.
So I think you've got a lot of really cool stuff. And then there's also been quotes from Phil Spencer talking about how he wants to bring back some dormant Activision IP. He named Guitar Hero and I think some of the other ones were Spyro. And so we may get a chance for some of these studios to say, hey, I don't really want to work on Call of Duty anymore. We'd rather do our own thing, whether it's a new IP or an older IP that they were more fascinated with doing. So
I personally, like, if we're actually going to bring out, like, if they have intention of bringing out the older, like, not single, but older based IPs, I'm totally down with that. But I don't know. Like, Guitar Hero, you can't really fuck up, right? Like, you're just putting songs on a playlist essentially and you're releasing DLCs.
I mean, you think
But, like,
that, but they've been losing sales year over year since 2019, which is, in my opinion, the last decent Call of Duty.
That's what I'm saying. Like if we drop, like, I'm just talking like older IPs, right? Like, so let's say Xbox comes out and they're like, hey, we're gonna release Guitar Hero, whatever version it may be. So I mean, how do you mess that up? Like, you literally can just throw in a playlist. Now it's just a matter of how much money is Xbox willing to spend to get copyrights to this music.
I don't
And
know.
I think that's what's going to be a bigger issue with some of the older IPs. It's like Spyro, yeah, no big deal, right? Because we've already got the remastered edition. But now, like, are we going to bring it out and it's going to be both platforms, or is it going to be Xbox exclusive? Like, are we going to put it straight up Sony's ass, or?
So here, I'll read you this quote. I did find it. So Sony was someone from Sony's leadership was quoted as saying, Sony expects Microsoft to honor contracts that it has with Activision, which is totally fair and what you can expect from Xbox because it's what they've always done with all of their deals prior. Namely Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo with the 1 year exclusivity with Xbox. That's going to happen, or with PlayStation. Right. I'm sorry. So, they honor those deals and they've always done it in the past. They'll continue to do it in the future, but then they say, and then Sony expects that Xbox will continue to ensure that Activision games remain multi-platform, which I think is hilarious because if Sony
haven't done it with any others,
if Sony had the funds to purchase an Activision, Call of Duty would be exclusive to PlayStation in all aspects day one. Warzone would be ripped from Xbox, and the only way you could play an ounce of Call of Duty would be on PlayStation.
I don't necessarily think so. I think it would be a Destiny kind of deal.
No, PlayStation doesn't own.
Excuse me, sorry about that.
PlayStation doesn't own Destiny.
Yeah, I know, but when Activision and Bungie first released Destiny, when it first got dropped D1, Sony had exclusives. Like, they had like first year exclusives that you could only get playing PlayStation.
I don't think that's the same. I think if Call of Duty was a first party IP for Sony and PlayStation Studios, you wouldn't be able to find an ounce of it on Xbox.
Nah, I don't think they'd go that route. They know that they're going to lose too much money. You don't have a good enough.
PlayStation is 3 times the install base.
Yeah, but you don't have a good enough game platform, right? Because it's just warfare. Like, you break it down now, and someone goes up and be like, "Hey, you gonna buy the new Vanguard?" Probably not. I would say that's 90% of the COD base now. Like, people are only getting it because they can get like super good deals, or it's a drop from some streamer or YouTuber or some shit.
So you think Warzone would be enough? They make enough capital on Warzone from Xbox to keep it there?
Oh yeah. As much as I don't like COD, yeah, Warzone's their moneymaker. They're not going to pull it from somewhere that's making 30% of their revenue.
Oh my god, are we still talking about Call of Duty?
Well, we're mainly talking about how greedy Sony thinks they are. Jeff thinks that if Sony had full rights to Activision, that they would make COD a PlayStation exclusive and just cut rights to Xbox.
Well, they are getting all that Disney money, so why not?
Didn't they lose Spider-Man though?
Sony?
Maybe. No, they still got him. They just made a new deal. Every time they turn the port, they make a new deal because that's too big a paycheck to pass up on.
Yeah, it's all just a game. I think they talk a big talk to try to make Disney pay up more money when they could basically they basically have a blank check from Destiny for Spider-Man, or Destiny, from Disney for Spider-Man. They could ask for whatever they wanted and they'd get it.
Well, yeah, especially now with Tom Holland, and they just brought in the multiverse,
right?
But so yeah, I think if anything, if Sony would have got him, it would have been a Destiny type deal. Like, it would have been released on Xbox, but there would have been console exclusives,
content that you can only get there. Well, I hope you're right. You have more faith in that than I do, because I think Sony is all about their exclusives. And I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's been their business model. So anyway,
yeah, but
right after
Sony's
that,
more.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're giving.
I was gonna say Sony's more single player exclusives. Like, usually when it comes down to anything multiplayer, it's usually shared between all consoles, just because they know that PlayStation has terrible multiplayer experience.
I mean, there's really nothing to. I think Call of Duty is probably the biggest thing they have is to. That's kind of synonymous with their name. Maybe right now in the 360 era, when Call of Duty was synonymous with Xbox, you got 30 days early access to the game, 30 days extra for all the maps. And then when Xbox One started off so bad, the nail in the coffin for them that generation was PlayStation getting the long-term deal for advertising rights for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't see Sony getting. I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
You're all good, man. So
something about Call of Duty this, Call of Duty that.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Phil Spencer. Oh my gosh, am I talking through my headset mic? I'm a doofus.
Who's Phil Spencer?
Head of Xbox.
Who's Phil Spencer? Oh, do you really not know?
He's the guy that big dick Sony.
Does this sound any better? Sorry, I'm gonna break the fourth wall for a second. Does this sound different? Sound better? Sound different? Better, different, better, different? Oh, sorry. I moved the wrong thing.
You good?
Okay.
Lang, what's your take on this?
I don't give a shit.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't care about Call of Duty. I don't care what Microsoft buys or doesn't buy. I mean, I cared when they bought Bethesda. I hope maybe someday they'll buy Ubisoft and fix them. But I mean, honestly, I don't care if they buy Activision or make Call of Duty exclusive or anything like that because I don't play it.
So I'll backtrack just as to hair because we talked about something while you were gone. But one of the things that Phil Spencer has talked about is bring. He's CEO of Microsoft Gaming now. He's got another promotion.
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Of
Bill
course he
Gates
did.
is the he's what, the chairman of Microsoft now, or like
Probably, yeah.
head
I'm
board member.
purposefully derailing you, buddy. Go ahead.
It's working. I'm easily derailable, easily railable,
Especially when it comes to Phil Spencer.
So
Anyway,
he was talking about bringing back a lot of those old dormant IP that Activision used to have. So, there's a chance now that we get more Guitar Hero, more Tony Hawk Pro Skater, more Spyro the Dragon.
Didn't they do Spyro the Dragon?
Huh?
They just did, well, not just, but I mean, they did a Spyro Bastard thing not that long ago.
they did it was a remaster. It wasn't like they're talking like actually revamping the
I
title.
Gotcha. Yeah. So
They're talking like putting Microsoft's name behind the new release.
Right. Microsoft original Spyro the Dragon.
Pretty much,
Right.
yeah. And then they want like marketing rights and essentially just be like, hey, Sony, this is what you could have done.
Yeah. So here's what Phil Spencer said after everybody was talking about exclusivity for a few days. He tweeted out, "Had good calls this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard." Again, same thing Xbox always does and shouldn't have had to be said. "And our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship." Very kumbaya, as Phil normally is.
Sony is an important part of our industry. That's what you said?
He did say that. So,
I mean, come on. Without Sony, we wouldn't have, great titles like Disney or
like Disney. You're such a fraud.
I am.
No,
I love talking shit on Sony.
I have a Series X and a PS5. I love everything. So no, I'm on board with all the stuff that's going on, and I especially think if they're able to give us more Guitar Hero, it'll be the golden age of gaming.
I could do with more Guitar Hero because I get drunk pretty often. That's kind of my go-to drunk game.
I mean, ultimately, right? Like, it'd be great to see older Activision titles. Plus Blizzard too, right? Like, you're telling me that we can't do something with Overwatch now? Like, Xbox can't put their name behind that and give them some kind of hope?
Hey, Van, for a second. My laptop's dying.
Oh, we just got real quiet. It's like that awkward silence.
Sorry.
Solid.
No, that was not solid. I failed. Anyway,
my thing with Guitar Hero though, like I would love to see it come back, but how much is Microsoft willing to spend on titles or copyright for new music? Like, there's only so many titles that you can release with Guitar Hero that haven't already been released.
who knows, man? They have all kinds of access to that kind of shit.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just food for thought. Ultimately, I don't know. I don't see it going anywhere. I don't think Activision is going to be worth it. Now, if this is Xbox's way in for putting Game Pass on Sony, then yeah, that would be phenomenal.
Putting what?
Have you not heard some of the theories on that? That they think part of this merger is going to open up Sony to put Game Pass on PlayStation?
No, I hadn't heard that.
Excuse me. Yeah. And some of the theories that I've been seeing. Crazy would that be to get a PlayStation and still have access to Game Pass?
That would be insane.
Let me go ahead and say we lost Astrius here.
I
So-
don't know where he went.
Yeah, I don't know. What would you do if Xbox did come out one day and was like, "Hey, we're buying Ubisoft"? How happy would you be?
I'd be worried, first of all, that I wouldn't be getting Skull and Bones anymore, which I'm already kind of thinking I'm not getting Skull and Bones anymore.
Which one was Skull and Bones?
That's the same company
I'm back.
or studio that
Welcome back.
made Black Flag was making a strictly pirating only game based off the mechanics of Black Flag and with obviously upgraded mechanics and graphics. So
Do you think they would kill it because of Sea of Thieves?
possibly.
Yeah. I don't know. That's
I
don't know.
one of the things I,
I think
love
that'd
about
be a
Xbox.
good little game, though.
Because they
See,
say, hey,
if
like
Skull and-
we're like down for you guys making whatever it is you want to make.
Excuse me, fuck. With Skull and Bones, they just need to slap it into an indie title. Xbox will immediately sponsor it.
Idea at Xbox, baby.
Yeah. But
From
Jeff, I was
Ubisoft.
telling Lang some of the theories that I've been seeing behind this merger with Activision is that is this going to be Xbox's end to like push their way through and put a Game Pass app on PlayStation?
A lot of people think that, and so I don't know.
How-
I don't know what's
How
going to
fucking
happen.
crazy would that be?
I don't think it would be that crazy at all. I think it's exactly what Xbox wants. I think it would
Yeah,
have
but-
happened already if PlayStation wasn't putting the kibosh on it.
But like, how insane though, right? Like let's say you're a console war, and you know Sony Master Race, and now all of a sudden, here you are buying $15 into a Game Pass Ultimate to put the app on your PlayStation.
I don't know. I think there are people that are gonna be that I'll never own an Xbox, no matter what is on there. I'll quit playing Call of Duty, which is my favorite game, before I'll ever own an Xbox. And it's like, all
Sounds
right,
like they're not missing much.
I guess you do your thing. So I honestly think that I don't know what Sony's gonna do, because now they've announced Spartacus. Have you guys heard about that?
Nope.
So
I am Spartacus.
so Spartacus they're calling it their Game Pass competition, but they've yet to announce first party games day and date to the service. And in my opinion, until they do that, it can't compete. I mean, when you
What do they have to offer though?
this year alone, you'd be getting Horizon Forbidden West and Ragnarok in there.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like those are just still gonna be. Yeah, I could see it.
But even like they would have to start working on the third party deals like Xbox, with us getting Extraction, and then really I think the only first party games we're gonna get this year are Redfall and Starfield. And Redfall looks like it's getting ready to be pushed out. So it might move from summer to fall. So we may wind up getting Starfield in like October. Not Starfield, Redfall in October. And then Starfield in November. If you guys haven't heard about Redfall, I think that game's going to be pretty cool. It's made by Arcane
I have not.
Studios, and it's going to be like a third-person Borderlands type game, but instead of like crazy Borderlands monsters, it'll be vampires. All we've ever seen of it now is a CGI trailer that was in the announcement for it last year at E3.
Oh,
But,
so kind of like what EA did with Need for Speed this year.
Oh, I didn't see that. Did they just announce it with a CGI trailer?
Nah, they announced it last year, and the only thing they had was like this rough like sketch gameplay, and then the only thing that they had rendered in was this 350Z or 370Z,
Oh boy.
and like it was just sitting on pavement, and everything else was just like shapes. There's no graphics to it. The only graphics were the road that it was sitting on, and then the car. And then like coming 2022.
Yeah, we couldn't believe it that it said summer of 2022. It was like, you just showed us a CGI trailer. We got the same thing for Fable, and that game's 3 years away. That game's coming out next summer. You better show me gameplay. Put your money where your mouth is.
Or if they just Halo Infinite, like pull a Craig on us.
they're not even going to show us. Just drop it.
Yeah.
It looks like dog shit.
Like,
I don't know. I think Arcane has more pride in their stuff than that.
I hope so.
Well, I cannot stop yawning. All right, so I think at E3, or we're not even going to have an E3. It looks like we may not even have a digital E3 this year. But I think at whatever Xbox's Summer Games Showcase is, I think we're going to get... We will either get gameplay from Redfall, or it's getting delayed. And then the most exciting part is we're going to get the big Todd Howard walkthrough on Starfield. Yeah. Hopefully they'll go.
Oh, I could give a shit about Todd Howard's walkthrough of anything.
Did you not like
Todd Howard's so full of shit.
He is not. You better watch your mouth, sir.
No,
what's he gonna do? Is he gonna ban people for duping in the game?
I got nothing.
That was my shitty 76 reference.
Todd Howard is a myriad of failures.
What?
I wouldn't go that far.
Bro,
one bad multiplayer release.
The dude directed a game that's been brought to like 12 different platforms, including every refrigerator and toaster in everyone's kitchen across America, in Skyrim, because people fucking love that game.
No, I love that game, but I do not want it remade or remastered for my T1800 Texas Instrument fucking calculator.
I'm just saying.
Same goes for Doom.
You're out of your mind to call the dude. You're out of your mind to call the dude a myriad of failures, because he's a game director legend.
Was a masterclass in failure. Fallout 76 altogether was a masterclass in failure.
I will die on the hill that he didn't want to make that game.
On 76?
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see that.
Because
why did he promote it?
I think ZeniMax wanted him to make that game.
They just put his name behind it. They just wrote him a fat paycheck and was like, here, just stand in front of the camera.
Well, okay. But I don't see how that's accurate, but okay.
You can't see how they were trying to you can't see it.
It's been a long running chain of failure since Fallout 4. It just works.
I don't know. I know Fallout 4 is no Fallout 3 or even like a Fallout New Vegas, but
nothing compares to Fallout New Vegas, and that's because Bethesda didn't really have anything to do with it. They just gave the keys to Obsidian, and they made a better Fallout game than Bethesda did.
I mean, that doesn't take
It's a-
much. Have you seen 76?
It took modders taking Fallout 4's engine and making Fallout New Vegas again in Fallout 4's engine to make people want to play Fallout 4 again.
That's a real thing. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, they recreated the entire New Vegas game in Fallout 4. It's pretty dope.
It's insane.
Dude,
And
modders can do anything. That's one of the biggest reasons I'm excited to play Elden Ring. Like, I'm hoping to build a braided gaming PC this year, next year. And one of the things I'm most excited about is giving people a year with the source code for Elden Ring and seeing what they build, because they built the Convergence 2.0 out of the Dark Souls 3 source code, and they were able to make like all new spells and all new like character mods. There was like a necromancy mod or a character build. It's just, those people are amazing. I don't know the first thing about how to create a mod or even how to enact a mod. I tried to put background remover on my OBS so that I could remove the background around me on a camera without a green screen, and I almost broke OBS. So I don't know how to mod stuff.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video on it.
Yeah. Well, I think that about covers the Activision stuff. I think it's shocking, and I'm still trying to picture $70 billion. I can't realistically figure out what that looks like. Closest I can come is like just a Scrooge McDuck vault full of dollar bills.
Nah, I mean, realistically,
dive
right? It's just
through.
going to be like a little check.
Yeah, $70 billion.
All right. Dude's just hanging around play money at this point. Like, he's just monopoly money.
Cash, man. I keep trying to tell people on Twitter that they're like, well, Xbox has got to put their stuff on PlayStation Now. They just spent $70 billion. They're going to want that money back. And I was like, bro, Phil had like $150 billion in just liquid cash, and Satya Nadella said, have fun. So he went and bought Activision.
Dude legitimately just went and had fun. He's like, hey, what game studio can I buy that knows about cocaine and hookers?
Yeah, wouldn't this be funny? He called up Bobby K and he said, I'm buying your studio, and then I'm gonna shoot you out of a cannon in Redmond, Washington. I'm gonna launch you into retirement.
I mean, Bobby K has been needing to go for a while, though.
Yeah, and then he's gonna go and hug all the employees and say it's okay.
I'm sure he will.
He can't hurt you anymore. And then they're just gonna
sends out like a little like season's greetings like email. There's just confetti in the back and says he's finally gone.
He's finally gone. Yeah, it'll be great. I hope. I don't know. There's like this whole contingent of people that really want a Banjo and Kazooie remake, or like reimagining or comeback or something. I personally don't remember Banjo and Kazooie that fondly. Like, they were great games. I think I played them all when I was like 10 or 11 years old. I remember thinking
ultimately,
they were
right?
Before.
It's just going to be like Psychonauts.
I'm thinking something much closer to like the reimagining of Ratchet and Clank. I mean, not that crazy, obviously, because Ratchet and Clank has always been about like just a lot going on the screen and guns and debris everywhere and stuff.
I mean, that's the only reason we got Psychonauts 2, though, right? It's because like the people demanded nostalgia.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Sure. And Psychonauts 2 is great if it turns out to be that kind of quality.
Right.
I'm here for it. Did you guys play Psychonauts 2?
I have not yet, no. I've heard nothing but great things about it.
You really should.
I probably will.
They approach mental health issues of all varieties in incredible ways. That game is really terrific.
I'll have to check it out.
Jack Black's in it. I thought that's pretty awesome.
That's cool.
Trying to make sure there's nothing else I want to talk about with Activision. Main things were Phil going on exclusivity. I don't know what I think's going to happen. I know that they'll keep all the stuff that's already on PlayStation will be there. I can see it a few different ways. And I guess I don't really care personally if Call of Duty, like the mainline releases, go to PlayStation or not. I think it's great if they do. If I had my way, there wouldn't be any exclusives on anything. Everything would just be everywhere, but that's not how business works. So,
Right.
I think that if they decide to do Call of Duty as is, for the developers that want to make it and it goes everywhere, that's great. I know like all the stuff that Xbox chooses to bring back, if it's Guitar Hero or Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Xbox is the only place you're going to be playing that.
Well, that was something else that I had seen too. Oh yeah. They were talking about. I saw a couple people talking about how the way that he'd worded it was exclusivity is going to remain on the like existing titles will remain, but new titles will come to exclusivity.
Yep, it's the famous quote from the Bethesda Roundtable. If you're an Xbox customer, Phil Spencer says, "What I want you to know is that this is about great exclusive content coming to platforms where Game Pass exists."
Yeah.
Which is funny. He always kind of chuckles when he says platforms. If you go and listen to the quote, it gets me every time. He says platforms, but there's kind of a chuckle in it. And I don't know if that means something's in the works or if he just thinks all the talk is ridiculous. And I can see him thinking that way. But I think it goes really back to what you were saying about Game Pass being on PlayStation. I mean, they want to put Game Pass on TVs. They've openly talked about this just as a cloud-based app on your TV that you can go to just like you open up a Netflix or a Hulu.
Didn't they share that? Didn't they? Was it Roku?
Does Roku have it? I know you could like sideload it.
Well, I think maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But they had I can remember them having an app. Like initially, like when smart TVs first got big, there was an Xbox app.
Yeah, so
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, but I don't know exactly what the holdup is on xCloud. It's been in beta for like 3 years now, so I'm just wondering what they're kind of working on. I don't know if it's just about getting more Series X server blades into the server farms to continue to boot that stuff up, or if it's more about how like it's performing. Because I know that there is still a little bit of latency, so maybe it's one thing it's going to be in beta until network infrastructure and their hardware can handle it. Because that's one of the biggest reasons that inside the series consoles, they have server grade CPUs in them. It's because they don't want to have to put a different motherboard inside the Series X that they put inside the server farms for xCloud. It's literally the exact same thing that they either plunk it inside an Xbox and send it to somebody's house, or they plunk it inside a server farm. At least that's the way it's been described to me.
Right. I don't know. It's all crazy. I think COD's going to be a terrible mistake, and I'll be excited if they actually do let the old titles fly.
I think that'll be really cool. And I also think there's already talks about them getting away from the annual release structure of Call of Duty. And I think that'll really help too. Let these people work on a game for 4 or 5 years. They barely get 3 years, and then Activision's like choking the life
I mean,
out of them until they can get it out the door. and then
three has been generous the last couple of years. Like,
yeah, they've been skipping them, haven't they? Didn't they skip somebody's turn and made somebody go in 2 years last time?
um,
I could be absolutely
well,
talking out of my ass, but I thought I read that somewhere.
I mean, your last three releases would have been Modern Warfare
Right, Infinity
and
Ward.
Warzone, and then you would have had Cold War and then Vanguard, right?
Right.
So whichever one of those, because I mean, if we're just talking Activision and I believe it was Treyarch before Infinity Ward.
And it was
I mean, those were
Black
those were
Ops
back to
3
back.
before that, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it would have been Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops 2. Was there Modern Warfare 4? I don't think there was.
Okay. I've got a big list of them here.
I know Advanced Warfare.
Who made Blops 4? That would have been Treyarch, right?
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, Blops has always been a Treyarch.
Okay. So Blops 4 was Treyarch. Just confirming here. 1 second. All right. Yes, Treyarch. And then I know for a fact Modern Warfare 2019 was Infinity Ward. Oh, it's still Black Ops then. So Black Ops Cold War would have been Treyarch then as well. Yep. Treyarch with help from Raven. So they went 2 years in a row. Treyarch did. And then Sledgehammer came out with Vanguard this year.
Which I don't know. I haven't played it. I haven't seen good reviews. I think the World War II phase is kind of outplayed.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants it anymore.
I think Vanguard was just a big cash grab, and it did not pay out well for them.
I kind of swore off Activision in general with all the harm they were doing to their developers. But
yeah,
now that
I mean, Activision didn't give a fuck. Like, they haven't cared for a while because I mean, all of it has been microtransactions.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't hardly say that, like, there's anything we can do about microtransactions anymore, but what they've done to games as far as, like, the big push on free-to-play and all that stuff is why I'm so afraid of what NFTs can
do. My biggest push on microtransactions is always going to be, if you're going to make a free-to-play game, do not make it pay to win.
Yeah.
So, if you want to release content, go for it. Skins. I mean, even if you want to do, like Mark II versions of certain weapons, go for it. But don't make it to where those weapons are only gotten by paying for them. Or in COD's case, I think the last ridiculous number that I saw was Black Ops 4. That there were certain weapons that were in the marketplace that if you didn't buy them, it was like a 1 in like 7 or 8,000, 9,000 chance of getting it in a case. But they marketed it. The way it was marketed was like, oh, hey, you can either buy it or you can win it in these shipping crates.
The other thing along with pay to win that I won't stand for is paid loot boxes. I guess if you want to do free loot boxes that I just earn for whatever, like I'm probably not even going to pay attention while I open them, but that's whatever. But if you're going to make me pay money for something, I need to know exactly what I'm getting.
Yeah.
I think that's so important. All right. Well, you guys have anything else for the good of the order on this topic?
No. I mean, I could sit for another hour and just talk smack on COD. So
Just rant. Lang, how about you, man? I know I feel like we missed you a lot.
I
No,
think he. Oh, there he is. Okay, I was gonna say I think he dipped.
No, I just
left.
it's all gibberish to me. I mean, all this stuff like people's names and studios and
Wait, have I been talking
mean,
shit and you really don't know who Phil Spencer is?
no,
He
I do
knows who
know
Phil Spencer is.
Who we
That
who
part
we
was
talked
just being an asshole.
who we talked about that you didn't know who they were.
Oh, you remember who you were talking about that I don't know? No. I don't know.
Probably the COD title, Sledgehammer, Infinity
honestly,
Ward, Treyarch.
Call of Duty is going to come and go a million times over. I mean, as long as Infinite Warfare is on Game Pass, I don't care.
What?
They did say that at the close of the deal, they're going to put as many games as they can on Game Pass, and I don't see any reason why that one wouldn't make it.
That's what's driving their subs up.
Yep.
So, yeah, of course it is.
I mean, it's just like Doom. Every one of the Dooms are out there. Even with a new release, it was day one exclusive. Or not.
Well.
Those remastered Quake titles were pretty fun. I don't know if you guys ever went in and played those, but I did it once when they first got announced. And I thought that was pretty cool.
If you want a big loot, go play like Doom 64. So crazy.
Oh,
crazy to see on Xbox.
It's like playing Asteroids on a Xbox Series X.
Yeah, Geometry Wars, right?
For real.
All right. Well, then, on that note, I will say goodnight. Go ahead and take a peek at the left side of the screen there, where you can find our content. And I want to add Orangutan Gaming on Facebook to that, because I apologize, I did not have a chance to add that to that liner yet. So I'll try to have it for next time. But Orangutan, I'm assuming it's facebook.com/Orangutan Gaming.
Right. Yeah, I think so. I don't know why it wouldn't be.
All right, friends.
And I'm nowhere. Yay.
You are not nowhere. You on Twitch when you Twitch stream with Lang. I was actually really excited about your Wildlands run. It's a real shame that got brought to an end so quickly.
We don't need to discuss the logistics. He immediately uninstalled. Well, I was like, let's give it another shot. And he's like, nah. I'm playing Anthem.
I already uninstalled it. Man,
usually that's how it goes.
A drone into the helicopter blades killed us both. No, I'm out. Yeah.
It just wasn't meant to be.
It was only a level 5 too. Like, we easily could have restarted and done what we had done.
But it's the principle thing.
That's so funny.
I'm with you here.
Swear to God.
Oh,
that's right.
man.
We have other things to play. We have Generation Zero. We have Deep Rock Galactic. We have Far Cry 6. We have things to do.
It's been in the rumor mill too, man. We might be getting Dying Light 2 in Game Pass.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
How about the bee's knees on that one? Some people are saying Elden Ring too, but I don't think we'll get Elden Ring in Game Pass. That sounds way too niche for them to spend the amount of money that would take.
Yeah. Elden Ring, that's gonna be too big of a release.
But if it does come to Game Pass, I'm gonna make you two play co-op with me.
I'm not playing it.
It'll be free.
Oh my God.
You will play. You will play.
No.
And then
that's
you're
if I
gonna
have
be
my games.
then you're gonna be an addict like me once you figure out why it's so glorious.
Highly doubt.
You'll play it, you'll get through your first zone and kill your first boss, and you'll feel the electricity of it, and then you'll play a different game and you'll be like, gosh, this game just doesn't hit the same way anymore.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're wrong as fuck.
I need more From Software.
No.
That's exactly how I feel.
I'm kind of with Lang here. Like it's not. No.
You can say it all you want. I did for years. I said, nah, fam. Souls games ain't for me. Then it happened.
But I've also been saying that about Resident Evil games for all this time, and I was right about that. So
you're just too particular. You played what, 45 minutes of one Resident Evil game?
it was enough. It was more
arguably the worst title.
What?
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7 is the best Resident Evil game for me.
No.
I played the remakes of 2 and 3. I never played the OG ones, but I played the remakes of 2 and 3. Not as good as that first person, dude. It does not have the same sweaty palm feel for me as it does when you're walking down the hallway and Jack comes blasting through the wall with a fucking
when you're
backhoe
walking through a basement full of copper pipes with no weapons.
There it is. That's what I'm waiting on.
And then your wife attacks you with a knife, and then the knife disappears, and you run around like an idiot trying to find it.
Fucking gone. She left the knife in your arm. You pulled it out. It disappeared. Magic. The magic of video games.
Maybe you were just blind from the pain of being stabbed in the arm and you couldn't see anymore.
No, yeah, that's why I dumped a bunch of green shit on it, and I was fine, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Of all the things that don't make sense that you've mentioned, Health Tonics is absolutely the number one thing that doesn't make a damn bit of sense in those games.
Here's an unmarked jar filled with absinthe and antifreeze.
Sweat and bad dreams. Oh,
100% sweat and bad dreams.
All right. Well, no one watched this show live, but if we're lucky, maybe somebody will catch it on the replay. And if you are watching on the replay, I thank you. Click that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. And we're doing fun things. Come back for more. Click the little bell so that you can be alerted when we go live and talk more stuff.
When we decide to do this on a whim at 8 o'clock at night.
That is part of the problem, isn't it? Yeah. We'll get on this time schedule thing one of these days.
Until then, time schedule.
Yeah. Until then, take care of each other out there. Stay safe.
Yeah.
And we'll see you.
Viva la console wars.
Yeah, viva la console wars. All right. Night, fam.
Bye now.